Good day, and welcome to the Silverlight Show. It's our annual tradition, the review of the Super Bowl halftime show. Man, it was night and day compared to last year, wasn't it? Last year everything was so dark and so confined, as it was telling you there's nothing you can do. Apparently the Super Bowl halftime committee told Bad Bunny he got to do something different. Because the first thing that struck you was how bright the set was. Kind of set in a rural setting and, probably evoking his home of Costa Rica. By the way, the President of the United States is also the President of Costa Rica. Costa Ricans are kind of the colonial arm of the United States. And that's just the way it is. They are, I forget what the term is. They're an American citizen, but not a U.S. citizen. We've covered that elsewhere. So they can't vote for a president. They can't vote locally. Well, they can vote in Puerto Rico, and they enjoy some of the protections that American citizens do. But the United States can always fluff them off and say, nope, that's not us. Let's get to the show. The set, again, colorful. I appreciate this compared to last year, because last year was so dark and literally cubes. Everything was reduced into cubes. The one interesting parallel between last year and this year, the presence of a truck. Last year they got out of a Ford, I don't know the difference between the trucks, but it was a covered truck. There was a stage trick. There was there was a tunnel underneath. They funneled all the dancers into that truck. And as a stage trick, it works well. In front of 70,000 people, I don't think anybody at the front row could see it. This year, they did it right. Big white truck. Right in the middle, surrounded by colorful dancers, and he's on top. Notice, last year, black truck. This year, white truck. This year, what color did Bad Bunny wear? White. That's right. Representing purity and holiness. Now it's that holiness we're going to get into. We had a wedding. Fantastic. Now I know some of you have the question, and it's a good question, how Bad Bunny can perform a wedding ceremony. Well, the truth is, I've been through a wedding before. The document you sign with the state is really the wedding ceremony. And that can be done by a local official, or it can be done by going to your local judge. That certificate is a real marriage. Everything else is for show. That's the ceremony. The certificate is completely different. But the important question is, why did Bad Bunny do this? Officially, his reason was the couple invited him to their wedding. And then he offered them the Super Bowl slot, and they agreed. Now, you can say anything you like up there, since you're not a priest, you're not a captain of a ship, and you're not a justice. So you could literally say that you want monkeys at your wedding, and there's nothing against it, provided you sign that legal document, which is officiated by a judge. Or, priest or the captains of a ship. A marriage is about contracts. But that's not where Bad Bunny was going with that. It was a chance for him in his white suit to elevate himself as a priest, somebody spreading his gospel to the masses. And boy, did they stick on that symbolism. Bad Bunny really stuck in a minor key for a lot of his performance. Minor keys are not uncommon. Musicians do switch between major and minor keys. But the selection of songs that he used were all that minor, dubstep, well, not even dubstep, but that kind of, auto-tune stereotype that we have with modern music. I'm not 100% sure whether he was lip syncing or not, and to be honest, I don't care. But in his status now as the priest of modern culture, who does he bring out? Lady Gaga. Oh, yes. This is not a surprise. Well, they kept it a surprise. But Lady Gaga is not going to take a performance that she's not getting paid for, she doesn't have creative control over, at least to some degree, or at least a partnership. And that's just the way artists work. Once you have intellectual property and status and stuff like that, you need to learn how to protect it. And she did that very well, I think. She was a surprise. Everybody had their ooh moment. But Lady Gaga's career, I hate to say it, when you're appearing in the Super Bowl, your career is kind of on its dark side. So, what did our new priest of pop culture do? He resurrected her from nothingness, brought her out, and he performed his little miracle. For a celebrity, for the top 1%, not for you and I, but we're supposed to be thankful that we witnessed the miracle. And there's some more dancing. Now, I noticed he took a drink on stage. There's that little shop set up. I don't really know what to call it. Little bar, little shop. And they handed him a drink, and he drank it. Holy Communion. Not only that, in the first scene that I mentioned, very vibrant, very colorful, he's surrounded by corn. Corn, in ancient terms, is a very undefined entity. There is no maize as we know it today, maize being the type of corn you think you boil, you eat, put a little salt and butter on, crunch, crunch, that kind of thing. But if you read the Torah, the Bible, etc., they talk about giving corn. Corn is just millet. But the symbolism is there for you to see. You are being given your spiritual corn by being able to see. You can't partake in it, just like the showbread of the ancient temple. You're seeing him have the Holy Eucharist right in front of you. He's got the corn, and the corn would be made into showbread. He's taking his glass of ceremonial wine. What was in it? Don't know. But that's the symbolism they're trying to give you. And then we came to the one that puzzled me at first, really bothered me. Again, remember last year, they had this lighting pole in the middle of nowhere, and they gathered underneath this lighting pole for some sort of chant and rhythm thing. I forget exactly what it is. And at the point, I was sitting there thinking, I don't get this. And I even admitted that in my review for last year's show. I didn't understand what was important. This year, we got our answer. Oh, yes. They planned this out. So this year, you had a telephone pole. Well, electrical pole, telephone pole, whatever you want to call it. And at first, again, it puzzled me. I took a good long look at it, and I was surprised they let Bad Bunny pull himself up like it was a regular ladder or something. That's a multi-million-dollar performer. You don't want him falling during your show. Those of you old enough might remember Bret Hart falling to his death by performing a stunt like that. And I was looking. Now, I haven't had a chance to really zoom in on that scene because I wanted to get my observations while they're fresh. Not only did they risk this performer who's being portrayed as a Christ figure. He got up there, and I found it really interesting. The song that he performed afterward was pretty low key because, the guy's young and in shape. But at the same token, climbing a pole is going to win almost anybody, especially while trying to sing. But there were two others there. And what does a telephone pole or electrical pole look like? A T, or you might say a cross. So he was up there on the platform. He had one backup singer and dancer on the other two platforms. What do we have? A recreation of the crucifixion. 3 men went up on poles, not just Jesus, but Barnabas, and I can't remember the other one. And we have, therefore, recreated before your eyes the ascension, the crucifixion of Jesus. and Bad Bunny playing the role of Jesus. Also, the fact they chose electrical poles was significant. They're saying our technology, our champion, our prodigy is now the one that gives you your power. All wrapped up into one neat 10, 15 minute, I forget how long it was, performance. Welcome to your new savior, everybody. And I think he's going to have a long rule, or at least the people behind him certainly will. Hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl halftime show, because the last few years has been very predictive of what's coming in the next year. And that's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. False Messiah. Remember, last year everybody felt boxed in because the performer used boxes, and this year you're getting ready to welcome your new Messiah. Are we engaging to get ready for the apocalypse? I don't think so. But the same token, they put the symbolism there for a reason. They have teams assembled purposely to look this stuff up, to put it together. Bad Bunny certainly had creative input, but they already knew what they were going to do. Think on that one, and let's hope this year better things happen. We wish to thank you for joining us on the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like and subscribe like everybody tells you. Don't forget, tune in next year, because this is a tradition we're not going to let go of. And we're over here at the Silverlight Show, we are trying to engage in more activities and more shows and stuff. So we're looking forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this review, and we hope you have a fantastic day.